Source of information. Officially addressing to Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the first Governor-General of Pakistan. Allegation by Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury, Officer Commanding 1st East Bengal Regiment, against Major General Ayub Khan, GOC East Pakistan, concerning his negligence and abuse of power towards the East Bengal Regiment, dated Kurmatola, Dhaka, May 19, 1948 AD. The contribution and heroism of the Muslim armies of Bengal in the history of the subcontinent and the world has always been neglected. It is a proven fact that the Muslim army of Bengal jumped into the armed country and the nation. I respectfully remember the martyred Muslim sepoys of the subcontinent who were martyred in the Battle of Palashi in 1757. And I remember that the brave Muslim sepoys of the Bengal Presidency Army of the British East India Company were ruthlessly killed when they revolted against the misconduct of the British East India Company in the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857. Remembering the Muslim heroic soldiers of the British Indian Army subcontinent who fought valiantly against Nazi Germany and Japan on the Burma, Africa, Europe and Middle East war fronts in the First World War from 1914 to 1917 and the Second World War from 1939 to 1945, and there many were martyred in the war. They took part in the war on the condition of gaining independence from the British colonial rule. I remember the brave Muslim soldiers of East Bengal who fought valiantly for Pakistan in the 1965 Pak-India War, and many were martyred. Finally, I respectfully remember all the heroic freedom fighters of the freedom fighters who fought valiantly under the leadership of the East Bengal Regiment in the 1971 Bangladesh War of Independence against the barbaric Pak aggressors and gave their lives for the motherland. The heroic soldiers of the Bangladesh Army are their successors. Military history of Bengal. In many old and prosperous ancient Muslim eras, the armies and navies of the independent sultanates of Bengal and the kingdoms fought a decisive battle, most notably against the Marathas, the Mughals and the British. Nawab Sirajuddaulah, Mir Kashim, Sher Shah and the independent Bar Bhuiyan of Bengal fought for Bengal. In the modern 19th century, the Bengali Muslim armies of the British Indian Army fought against Nazi Germany and Japan in both world wars. The foreign powers of the time could never establish permanent dominance in the region. Bengal was known as the invincible country of a fighting people, Bengal Bagalikpur, or the land of rebels. The Bangladesh Army is said to be the successor of the Mughal Army of Bengal. After the formation of the Bengal Army of the East India Company from the Mughal Army, the British Army took over the power of India from the East India Company after the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, organized by the Muslim sepoys against the misrule of the British East India Company. In this colonial British India, Bengalis were considered as non-martial race. After the outbreak of World War I, the British Indian Army started recruiting troops from the British Bengal province to the 49th Regiment of Bengal Native Infantry in 1918. In World War I, they showed immense bravery and valor in Mesopotamia. Later, with the outbreak of World War II in 1939, the British government reoccupied the province of Bengal and the recruitment of Bengali troops in the British Indian Army began. According to the military history of the subcontinent, before the Sepoy Mutiny of 1857, under the Bengal Army there were 2 European regiments, 1 Bengal Native Infantry Regiment with 74 regular infantry battalions, 16 Battalion of Cavalry, 14 artillery battalions and more than 50 local light battalions. The East India Company was recruiting troops from Gul, a province of Greater Bengal, and the adjoining provinces of Bengal, most of whom were Muslims. Therefore, the Bengali region was ahead of the whole of India towards the military tradition. The Bengali Muslims cannot wait to say that it is a nation rich in martial or military tradition. The Bengalis who have been deprived of the army for a long time need and aspire for a force of their own if the long-term Pakistan is created. Field Marshal Claude Auchinleck was the commander-in-chief of the Pakistan Army during the partition of the country until 15 August 1947. Then Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury was working at the Pakistan Army's transitional headquarters at Supreme Commander's Headquarters, Delhi. When Pakistan was formed, Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury joined the training and education doctrine of the Pakistan Army at Rawalpindi and continued the initiative to form a full-fledged Bengali Chief Regiment, considering the military importance of the returning Bengali Muslim soldiers in East Bengal. Later, the proposal to form a full-fledged regiment for the Bengalis of East Bengal was put on hold by Muhammad Ali Jinnah, the then Chief of Army Staff of the Pakistan Army. At one stage of the controversy, the Pakistani government was somehow forced to approve. Later, on 15 August 1947, General Frank Walter Masarbi became the first Army Chief of the Pakistan Army. Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury, a senior Bengali officer serving in the Pakistan Army, was appointed as the first commander, officer commanding, of the 1st East Bengal Regiment Training Regiment on 26 February 1948 with the responsibility of forming and training the training regiment. Although he had the opportunity to work in the 1st Punjab Regimental Centre, he worked for the development of the 1st East Bengal Regiment in response to East Bengal. The non-cooperation of the senior West Pakistani Army officers provided formation and training to the senior Tigers of the 1st East Bengal Regiment despite inadequate equipment and combat conditions. It is safe to say that it was difficult and costly to form a regiment in a short period of time in the midst of war. He and his colleagues made immense sacrifices and contributions to the formation of the 1st East Bengal Regiment. General Mag Osmani Kote. It's about the very senior Tiger officer, Major A.W. Chowdhury. Although during his service in the regiment he did not develop the regiment's name Djir, whose regiment was very, very great. That is, the late Major A.W. Chowdhury, who raised and commanded the training company in the 1st Battalion of the East Bengal Regiment when it was raised, and its reference can be found in regimental history. During the British colonial period, the West Pakistani Army officers in the Pakistan Army treated the Bengali Army officers in the same racist manner as the British Army officers treated the Indian Army officers. Needless to say, the Bengali soldiers of the East Bengal Regiment were being subjected to injustice and oppression in the Punjabi and Pathan Main Army, which angered the Bengali Army officers including Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury. Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury proposed remedies and reforms to Major General Ayub Khan, GOC Sub-Area East Pakistan, for the development and equality of the East Bengal Regiment like other regiments of the Pakistan Army and to remove inconsistencies in the management of the regiment. When GOC East Pakistan Major General Ayub Khan did not take any action, GOC East Pakistan Major General Ayub Khan and the regiment's C.O. Lieutenant Colonel Patterson showed indifference and apathy towards the 1st East Bengal Regiment. G.O.C. East Pakistan Major General Ayub Khan neglected his responsibilities and abused his power. Later, Major General Ayub Khan made anti-Bengali remarks at a conference of army commanders at the Kermatola cantonment in Dhaka, and Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury protested and criticized his amateur behavior when he mocked East Bengal politicians. When Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury tried to establish his rights as a citizen of an independent country with the Bengali army officers of the regiment, Major General Ayub Khan and other senior West Pakistani military officials became angry and Major Abdul Wahid Chowdhury's military life ended unjustly, although all subsequent allegations against him is withdrawn.